So, the 49ers are a mess. I don't know how else to put it. And, we had a good run. I mean, one thing. Okay, so I just want to say, I'm going to say something first about Kyle Shanahan. Jed York hopefully can learn. Remember last time we had a Super Bowl team and we lost? We lost the Super Bowl. We had John Harbaugh. We made the playoffs. And then we went 8-8. And then they got mad at each other and they had like arguments and stuff. And John Harbaugh's already kind of a toxic a little bit. And then Jed York took it personally. And boom, bada boom, we have a we need a fucking coach more than any other team, and then we have terrible coaching hires. Eventually, this guy just falls into our lap, and we got kind of lucky. That cannot happen again. Okay, we need to keep Kyle Shanahan. There's no other better option. I can guarantee that. I know Niners fans want to say he's overrated, or his record is bad, and that is true. But considering look at what's happened. 2017, he comes into a terrible team. Then, 2018, we have some momentum going. And then Jimmy Garoppolo gets injured. We have tons of injuries. And then it's done. Next following year, 2019, we have way less injuries than the previous 2 years. And we make the Super Bowl. And then we lose it basically because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Then, we go into this year. We're hopefully make the playoffs. I mean, people who make the Super Bowl often do make the playoffs, and even if they lose. And then we got tons of injuries, and then that was just a downward spiral from there. When we have the injuries, it just doesn't go as well. So I'm gonna say, Jed York, do not fire Kyle Shanahan. He's the best thing we've had, maybe since best offensive mind since like fucking Steve Mariucci we've had on the Niners. Okay, so just a short recap of the last Sunday, yesterday. The 49ers got blown out by the Dolphins, 43-17. Now, so first of all, positives. So there aren't many. Positive is that maybe Jimmy Garoppolo's terrible play was because of the injury. And I definitely think a part of it was that. It was mostly like confidence, and then a part of confidence is injuries. You often have low confidence coming back from an injury. We saw that last year. And last year we got to settle him in by running it every play. But we don't want to run it? I don't know what our problem is. Raheem Mostert should be a top 10 running back in the NFL. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm not paying attention close enough. From what I saw when we ran the ball, it worked. And then what kept happening, we'd run the ball, and then we got a bunch of yards. Then we threw it, and we got sacked. And then we got like an incomplete pass on third down, and we punt. Why don't we run the ball more? We better start running the ball next week. Because I get that Raheem Mostert was coming back from an injury. But like, if that was really your main concern, why was he our number one running back last week? Run the ball more, Kyle. Run the ball. Okay, I got off track. Another positive is we still have George Kittle. That will always be a positive, even if he wasn't included. Actually, I'm going to go and say one of the negatives is that we can't throw it to George Kittle for some reason. I don't know if that's Kyle Shanahan's fault, or Jimmy Garoppolo, or what, or Kittle's even. But then probably not Kittle. So, and then last positive, probably only real positive, is that, well, our defense, or not our, usually defense is a positive is a loss, but not this time. The only real positive is that our defense in the red zone in the second half was really good. We held them to so many field goals. They really should have, going in to the second half, they had 24, and it probably looks bad. You're like, wait, are you sure they were that good? And the defense was good. They scored 43, which that would be 41, 38. That's like 3 touchdowns. But no, I believe it was 1 touchdown and just a bunch of field goals. So, pretty good. Offense, CJ Beathard went in. What did we expect? I mean, like, really. So, yeah. Negatives, our defense was terrible mostly. Jimmy Garoppolo was terrible. CJ Beathard wasn't much better. I think the only reason he was a little bit better was because he was more confident. Like, how could he? There's no pressure when you're going in as just some backup quarterback. Like, of course, he was more confident. And then play calling, like that, this, when Cal decided not to just kneel it at the half, it didn't even make sense. I even think we could have considered going for a run touchdown. Like, we've gotten deep touchdowns with runs many times. And, yeah, just, this is hopefully our low point. But unfortunately, we have an insane schedule coming up. The scheduling gods clearly do not like the 49ers. Or not the gods, it's a person. But, oh god, I'm just looking at this now. We have the Rams, New England, Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, LA Rams, Buffalo. Okay, so all of these teams are above 500. All of them are 100%. I'm not even going to question it. I can guarantee you all these teams are making the playoffs. The only one I can't really guarantee is the Saints. We don't really know yet. But I'm pretty sure every one of these teams, next 7 teams, will make the playoffs. And I'm just going to try to be optimistic. Actually, let's start with the pessimistic, unoptimistic prediction of the next 7 games. We go 0-7. That's it. And that's even realistic, unfortunately. Like, it's not even that ridiculous to say. Like, seriously, like, it's not good. Okay, so now we go 0-7. This is my pessimistic thing. We go 0-7, and then of course, we beat Washington, and then we beat Dallas, and then we beat Cardinals. I think 3 in a row, right there. 3 in a row. Good job. And then we lose to Seattle, so that would leave us at, I believe, 7-9. Or sorry, I'm gonna say pessimistic view. We maybe lose. How about pessimistic? We lose the Arizona second time. I'd say 6-10. That's my pessimistic view. Yeah. Wait. 6-10. 2. Oh, I guess pessimistic. Okay, that maybe I'm being a little bit ridiculous, but I guess if I were to be pessimistic, I guess we'd be going 4-12. What? Okay. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit overkill. So then, yeah, that's why it's pessimistic. So optimistic. We. So of course, next 7 opponents, impossible. What are we supposed to do here? I say. So we got home Sunday night football with the Rams. We lose that. We already have terrible. Our momentum is done. I don't care that we're home. Our momentum, they're a better team. Then we lose. I'm even trying to be optimistic. Then we lose to the Patriots, lose to the Seattles, and then we lose to the Packers, but we beat the Saints. We get a little bit of a win there. And then we beat the Rams. We get revenge. 2 in a row. We got some momentum. We get destroyed by Buffalo. So that would be coming out of that 7-game stretch. 2 and 5, which, yeah. So then we beat Washington, beat Dallas, beat Arizona, and then I'm just trying to be optimistic. Last year it happened. This year I'm gonna say it happens again. We beat Seattle, so that would put us at a solid record of 2. So we beat both New York teams already. And then we beat New Orleans, which would put us at 3. And we beat Rams, 4. And then these other 3 would put us at 7. And then, okay, 8-8. That's my optimistic. Pessimistic, 4-12. But to be more realistic, pessimistic is more like 5-11 or 6-10, and then optimistic, yeah, optimistic 8-8. So then we wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So yeah, um, that was looking at the schedule. So now finally, 49ers quarterback situation is not great. I mean, last time we lost Super Bowl, we lost every single one of our players besides Colin Kaepernick, Joe Staley, and maybe a few other like non-stars, like some random people. And then Colin Kaepernick had a okay year, and then a bad year, and then he kneeled and he was out. And Joe Staley stayed with us and he was good, but like we had a quarterback coming out of the loss, and then we even after our team exploded, we still had him, and then we lose our offensive coordinator who knew how to use Colin Kaepernick. He knew how to use a running quarterback, and then he goes to the Ravens, and then they get Lamar. Or later he went to the Ravens, and guess what? With another running quarterback, he's great. Like clearly we know his talents, and we should have kept him. We should have. What the hell are we thinking? Why wouldn't? I mean, I don't know when we lost him. I don't know. I mean, did we lose him, Greg Roman, right after we lost the Super Bowl, or did we lose him the following year? Because I think we should have. If he was trying to, if J.D. York was smart, he would have fired. You know, I don't even think he should have, but he fired Jim Harbaugh, and then we would have put in Roman. But he just fired both, I guess. So yeah, and we had a quarterback coming out of that, and it didn't go well. So I think this time we should learn. We have a worse quarterback, and this time we're probably going to keep the coach because we have him on 5 years. So what do we do? We have to do something. They can't. I think they're smart people. They can't ignore it. They've watched football for a while. Fine. John Lynch won a Super Bowl with a team with a terrible quarterback, but or decent, but still Jimmy Garoppolo, based off what just happened, he clearly isn't helping at all. He's not one. I guess he's not one of the neutral quarterbacks anymore. I was thinking he was neutral. He wouldn't throw a ton of picks, and he would throw the ball decently, and he would be clutch some of the time. And our defense and running game would just carry us to win the Super Bowl, and that didn't happen, right? So, quarterback situation, Jimmy Garoppolo, ever since Super Bowl, hasn't looked that good. I think he was playing well against the Jets, and I had a feeling he would play well against the Jets and then the Giants, and maybe it would carry over. But no, he got injured, and he's probably done. So, we need a quarterback. I'd say before we think about that, what do we do with Jimmy Garoppolo? We either keep him and have wasted money, or we trade him away and still have wasted money, but less wasted money. Right? I mean, or we could keep him, have him start, and just see what happens and draft a quarterback next year. Because, I don't know. If we go 4-12, like my very pessimistic prediction, then we could get a quarterback, right? But that's not going to happen. So, we're not that bad. We're not. Well, we'll obviously see. Like, there's the Jets and the Giants, two worst teams, and you know what? Neither of them really need a quarterback, but we don't really know. So what do we do with Jimmy Garoppolo? We just got to trade him, or let him stay, or cut him. And I don't know if we can cut him. That's not how it works. I feel like we need to find a team who wants someone like Jimmy Garoppolo, whose only skills basically are leading clutch sometimes, clutch, but not necessarily in the playoffs, and then he's kind of a game manager, right? And yeah, sure, that's basically what he is. And I mean, so who would want someone like that? I'm thinking about the Colts and the Patriots. The Patriots have injury-prone QB, and then there's the Corona thing with Cam, and it's like I feel like they could use them, and they have like the sixth most cap space. Like it's insane how much cap. It might be like fourth. Like they have so much cap space for like a really good, pretty good team. So they could use him, bring him back, and Bill Belichick can win some Super Bowls with him. I mean, maybe I'm assuming he has a brain though. He can be like he can tell he's not the same. But like if anyone can do it, there he is. If anyone can do it, it's Bill Belichick. But he's not. He doesn't have confidence anymore. So I don't even know why they would necessarily do that. But I think a likely candidate is the Colts. They have a ton of cap space. Oh, they have a lot. They really need a quarterback. They might need it more than us because they have a team that is being held back majorly by a guy who throws interceptions and he throws away the game and he's not even particularly efficient even when he isn't throwing picks. It's like, what's the upside of Phillip Rivers? They need a quarterback, and drafting one will not help. Because if they draft a quarterback, like, what is going to happen? They draft the guy, and then he comes in, and let's say he's bad. Or he has a bad rookie year. Well, that's a year down the drain. Let's say he's fine. What if he's like Mitchell Trubisky? Comes in, has a good year, has a fine year, and the next year he has a fine year. It's like, he didn't improve. And then they give him another year, he has a fine year. It's like, and then they replace him with some guy, and then that's 3 years with no playoffs. They need someone who can win now, and there's no better options than Jimmy Garoppolo, unfortunately. Like, the Vikings are not letting go of Kirk Cousins, and there's literally no better options. Like, I don't even know what else they would do at this point. Like, I don't think there's any quarterback on a contract year that's looking at leaving. And, like, let's say Drew Brees leaves. Why would they want him? He's literally... Do you think they'd go from old quarterback who's a shell themselves to old quarterback who's a shell themselves? Probably not. So if I were to choose between Drew Brees and Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd go with Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's younger, too. So I'd say our best option is to trade him to the Colts for, like, a fourth rounder. I mean, it might be not worth the risk for them because it's so much money. But, like, it's $27 a year, and it's till 2023. So let's say we get him next year. That would be if we traded to the Colts to get him for 2 years. For, I guess in total, that would be $54 million for 2 years for a major upgrade at QB. And if there's no one better, that makes sense for them because they don't have to pay the guaranteed money. So, yeah, I mean, so for us, what are we going to do? We, at this point, if we're talking options, we're looking to either draft a QB who's ready to play now, who fits the scheme, and it will work, and they'll be better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, it depends how good we do. If we do my 8-8 prediction, then we'll probably have to trade up, right? If we do my, if we end up going 6-10, then we probably won't have to trade up by that much. Maybe even we can stay and maybe get someone like Trey Lance or Jake Fromm, or not Jake Fromm, that other guy that I can't remember. But I'm looking for someone who doesn't throw a lot of picks, just someone who won't hold back our team. You know what? I want more than that. Someone who makes our team better. We need someone that's mobile and they can win games and they're a leader and they know what they're doing and they can learn our offense quickly. That's what we need currently. And win now might not be even what we're looking to do necessarily. So I just think, I have a bad... For all we know, we'll end up picking up Drew Brees. And then we don't even have deep passes in our offense 90% of the time. Then it'll still probably hold us back. So, like, that won't probably go super well. I could just see that happening. It gets more views and more people to go. They can just see, oh, Drew Brees on a different team. Like, think about it. The Bucks got Tom Brady, and everyone thinks they're so good. He has the most jersey sales. Turns out he's okay. I think Drew Brees, You never know. But his physical limits are of course a huge problem. But yeah, I mean, drafting a QB is definitely a good option. Especially there's teams. So I think the football team definitely are going to draft a quarterback. But if we're talking teams that are bottom 10, that what they would draft, I feel like the Falcons are probably going to look for a lineman, offensive lineman, and they are Matt Ryan. It wouldn't even make sense to draft a quarterback right now. But for the Falcons, I feel like they won't. They don't need a quarterback. The Giants don't need a quarterback, and so of all these top like five worst teams, the only one that really needs one is the Redskins. Now, I've thought about we trade for Sam Darnold too, but that's obviously an option, but that's depending on if they have the number one overall pick, and actually they probably will. So if they drafted Trevor Lawrence, we could trade a first round pick for Sam Darnold, which would be awesome. But yeah, and I think he would bring our team forward genuinely. And then I think that's the best option because we don't. I don't see how rookie would be the best option for us. But let's say we did draft a quarterback, we traded up a couple spots, and we got Trey Lance, and we're sitting pretty. So yeah, 49ers are a mess. Bye.